Hi, myself is Shalini Bharadwaj. You all are watching ITV Networks Medically Speaking. So today we are going to discuss about that why so many cases are increasing once again in India, and do you really think that India is under COVID-19 crisis? We have with us Dr. Anjan Trikha, who is the chairman of Clinical Managerial Group COVID Center at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Dr. Neeraj Nishal, who is a associate professor in the Department of Medicine at AIIMS. Dr. Dhiren Gupta, who is a chairperson elect of the Academy of Pediatrics Intensive Care Chapter and pediatrician at Sir Gangaram Hospital. And we have with us Dr. Rakesh Mishra, who is a director at CSIR CCMB Labs. Welcome all of you at Medically Speaking panel, sir.
Thank you, Shalini.
Thank you.
My first question goes to Dr. Rakesh. Sir, why so many cases are increasing, in particular these states like Karnataka, Kerala, Punjab, your Gujarat, as well as Tamil Nadu? Near about 86% of COVID-19 cases have been reported from these states. Do you think there is a reason that there is some kind of mutation of virus or something like that?
No, there is certainly reason. Otherwise, things don't happen without reason. But the reason that you mentioned is the most dreadful reason, and we were afraid of that. Probably that is not the reason, because so far, whatever genome sequence analysis we have seen, it doesn't look like a new variant is common in the new cases that are coming. So, which means it's not a new variant unless it is that subtle that we have not been able to pick, and larger number may be needed, unlikely. Also, we have seen that while we detect a lot of UK variant and some South Africa, Brazil variant in travelers who come from international travel, we have not seen lateral spread of this beyond primary contact in few cases. So that means for some reason, either we are able to control well, or these are not infectious for our population. For whatever reason, these are not actually making any big major concern for us. So that leaves us with the most likely possibility, which most of us think is correct, is that spread was not happening because we were taking correct steps of mask and social distancing, and not going to crowd, and being taking care of ourselves, what we call as the COVID appropriate behavior. We have stopped doing that. Once you stop doing that, virus is always waiting. So again, more and more people come, people don't wear mask, and in these places, what you mentioned, there is correlation to a recent past, either election or local elections, or some marriage function, metro trains, people traveling without mask, and those are the reasons. So luckily, I would say that it is not the new variant which is causing this, because that can bring up new surprises and new troubles. But if we do this way, and a lot of people get infected, and virus keeps spreading, a new variant will emerge from within this population, and that is the biggest fear that I have, that a new variant may come, and that can create new kinds of problem to us, and compromise the vaccine program and other things that we have achieved so far.
Sir, what kind of implications can have from this P1 virus, which is a Brazilian virus?
The one thing is that it's not spreading in our population, and we must be really practicing the COVID safe rules of mask, hand hygiene, and clustering. So that is first thing. So that we are at the moment we are safe. But this strain, some studies show that it requires more antibody to get neutralized in vitro, and there are some reports that probably some vaccines might be less effective against this. But it's only a quantitative difference, and the vaccines largely are likely to, particularly the vaccine that we are using in India, have been shown to be effective against these variants. But these are surprises that you cannot predict. There may be a situation that this variant, which has acquired some resistance, if one more mutation happens on top of this in that direction, it might become a problem thing. So two things needs to be done. A, prevent the spread as efficiently as possible, and particularly when we detect new variants like P1 or UK, we should be extremely careful and implement strict rules so that we don't end up with one more lockdown, which will be worse than the disease itself.
Dr. Anjan, sir, my question is that today BBMP has to deploy marshals at temples, to control the crowd. What do you say, sir? Do you think people are not that much serious now? They have taken things granted. Sir, I can't hear you.
You have to unmute.
Yeah, I think yes, people have lowered their guard. They are taking things for granted, and it has started from the top. We've had agitations, we've had elections, and we've seen a lot of people getting together for various rallies or whatever. Now the marriages have started. Earlier on, there were no marriages. Then there were marriages with 20 people, and now then with 50 people, and now there are 200 people. It all starts. And now at least I have at least 5 wedding cards where there are 5 functions for each wedding, the way a fat in North Indian wedding used to take place. I can assure you that all the men and women would be having masks there, but they will be all in the pockets. So the guard has been lowered. The same is true for temples. We have to realize that God can only take care of people who take care of themselves. The gods, wherever the god may be, it could be a temple or a gurudwara or a mosque or anything for that matter, any religion. So the guard is lowered. It has started from various angles, and we are going to suffer for that.
Dr. Neeraj, sir, what kind of precautions need to be taken by those who have been vaccinated for the first dose? Because a lot of cases have been seen that people are getting infected after a single dose, then they are blaming a vaccine. What you would like to say about it?
So definitely, this is something which most of us are either not aware or are not willing to learn. That it's the biological vaccination along with social vaccination that is going to save us during this pandemic time. If we take vaccine, it will take some time for us to develop immunity. So after taking first dose, you are required to take a second dose. And once you take the second dose, then after 2 weeks of that, we anticipate that the adequate immunity level will come. And even after that, once you have immunity, the chances of you getting infected is still there. It's just that this vaccine most probably is going to prevent you from getting a severe form of disease. That's it. So that's why this concept of just getting one shot of vaccine and thinking you have become immortal or you have become immune to this infection is totally wrong. And that's why we have to ensure that even if we have taken both set of doses, after that also we have to practice social vaccination. Otherwise, we will start blaming, okay, this vaccine is not working. So the idea of vaccination is to prevent morbidity and mortality due to this infection. But chances of cutting down transmission may not be 100% or even 70-80%, as efficacy is just against severe disease. So we have to keep our guards up and not lower down once we have taken vaccine.
Dr. Dhiri.
Yeah, Shalini, I just want to comment on Dr. Neeraj.
Yes, sir.
What he said is perfectly all right. And I witnessed around 5 cases who got infection after second dose, after 2.5 weeks of the second dose. And all these cases were symptomatic, though they were in young medical students. So because in young, you cannot say that they are not severe, because in otherwise also they are not that serious as in elderly population. Probably nobody knows the efficacy of these vaccines. These vaccines have been approved by just very small trials, which has never happened in the past. Nobody knows what is the effect of new strains and the constant mutating viruses. We don't need any virus to be imported like Brazil or like any other UK or South African. Our own mutation happening. It means recently there was a paper, more than 7,000 mutation has happened in India, but we are just doing 0.06% of the sampling for the mutation, 5% of the sampling. So actually we don't know what is happening. So, but one thing is very sure, that we cannot lower the guard, and means unless whole population get vaccinated, means we can still be spreader despite of adequately vaccinated.
Sir, one more question. Do you think, sir, COVID-19 is mild among children?
Yeah, that is definitely used to be mild, and but the problem with the pediatric age group is that they can spread it. Fine, so they can spoil the game. They may not get suffer from severe COVID infection, especially classical COVID is not very much prevalent in pediatric age group, which we have seen in the previous two epidemics in Delhi and in India. But one worry is there. One is that in UK strain, they have found that the severity was little bit more in pediatric age group as compared to any other mutation. One. Second one is, post-COVID MISC, that is multi-organ inflammatory syndrome, is quite prevalent, is quite life-threatening in pediatric age group. We can say that is rare, but that is not that rare that we should not worry. So we follow the adult, means once the epidemic is in the adult, because adult population carries the infection to the home. Still, we don't have schools open. So what we can say presently, definitely threat comes from the adult age group. They spread it to the pediatric. Through pediatric, other elderly they become very vulnerable for the infection. That is the worry. And pediatric age group, grandmother, grandfather are usually very much attached to their grandkids, and that is the worry that the infection can spread to the most vulnerable population through them.
Dr. Anjan, sir, what can be done? Basically, children are like they have started going to the school, but we have toddlers also. So what need to be done? Because in future school are going to be open. So what can be done?
Yeah, Shalini, you're very right. You can't have another 1 year of schools not opening up. There could be a couple of months, 4 months, 5 months more, but that's also unreasonable. And one thing which we are forgetting is by closing schools, we are trying of hindering the development of a child. A child develops a lot mentally when he goes to the school, right? So some kind of a vaccine behavior has to be taught to the child also. Maybe in the class they'll have to be seen that they don't share their food. They have to be masked if that's possible. I'm not sure, but sharing of food can be avoided. Sharing of water can be avoided. And then they can be taught to wash their hands again and again. And maybe every 1 hour they have to be told not to touch here and there and put their fingers in the nose, eyes and mouth. I know it is a tough call, but then we tend to teach our children not to pick their nose. So we have to teach our children not to put things in their mouth. The ones who are not toddlers, the ones who are in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth class, right? So this kind of behavior has to be taught to the children. And as has already been pointed out, that kids would be likely to be more bigger spreaders than to be getting affected. Having said that, we've had our share of children who got COVID and who will end up in the ICUs. Everybody of us would have seen those. So that behavior would have to be taught to children, and it's going to be at least another 8 months, if not more, before some kind of vaccine can be available as a mass vaccination for children. Maybe even more, maybe a year or something of that kind, right? So that behavior has to be taught to the children.
Dr.
Shalini, first adult has to follow the behavior, then they can teach their kids.
Important.
So that's perfectly fine. The adults have to get it, but then I think the earlier we start, the better it is. Quite a lot of adults.
Yeah.
I know you and me. I have never washed my hands so many times in my whole life, which I've done in 9 months. Every 20 minutes, if I'm in my office, I go up and wash my hands or have a spray or something. So it has to start somehow, and the earlier we start, the better we are, I think.
That's very important.
Shalini, one more point. I've seen even doctors are getting fed up of mask, and the tolerance to have mask for a whole day is is a key. It's not easy. Means at times if we did a study, and if you wear a mask for a whole day for few hours and without interruption, then it is leading to actual problem in the healthcare that we proved in our nurses. So I mean to say, my feeling is that mask and social distancing is one thing. Second, we know that recently it has been found that this virus doesn't spread by the touch, especially over the fomite, but hand washing has to be there, not fomite washing, which a whole community used to focus. Now, the one point I want to make here, our vaccination is very slow. Means it has been almost third month of the vaccination, and we have got the best system in the world, including government and the private, regarding vaccination. And we couldn't utilize that system very well till date. Probably we need to be very quick, very fast, and once mutant strains will arrive, then your existent vaccination may not be sufficient.
That means we have to ramp up vaccination. What you would like to
Yes,
say,
yes.
Dr. Neeraj?
So again, the most important thing which just regarding the children I would talk about the adults, they have to actually be a role model for them. So once you are there in the home and following all COVID appropriate behavior, children are going to learn about that. And regarding this thing, every parent had to take a conscious decision that if his or her child is not okay, then they should not be sending them to the school. That's very important. And apart from that, of course,
The
somebody in
consent
family
is
is sick.
important, sir. The consent is important.
Yeah. So again, from that point of view, everyone has to pitch in, not just children or adult. It has to be a concerted effort right from the school administration, who can start right. All these all-night classes are going on, so they can basically they can uh, guide the children and what is expected when they come to school for physical classes. What is expected from them? They have to be taken into loop right from today itself. As far as this vaccination efficacy against strain is concerned, this is something which we should not be worried too much about that at the moment, because the vaccine hesitancy that has been there, and that could be one reason why the acceptance. Of course, we can ramp up vaccination right on day one, but are people going to come and take those vaccines? So it was very important that this vaccination program was slowly implemented. People are taken into confidence so that there is no hesitancy whatsoever. And when time comes, everybody will get a chance to take vaccine, and I'm sure everybody will come forward and take this vaccine. So uh, the the support which Covaxin or Covishield is been getting is improving day by day. So I feel, of course, rate may be slow, but I think it's effective and it will be ramped up with time. So we should not be in a hurry to ramp up everything on day one. And if something wrong would have happened, then this whole program would have collapsed. So I think it was a proper way.
Dr. Rakesh, sir, what can be the reason in, if we talk about Maharashtra, in a single day, that means in 24 hours, more than 13,000 cases have been reported. What can be the reason behind it? People have taken things granted or mutant. What exactly it is? Because a single state is getting so much cases. There must be some reason behind it.
No, that is how you began, right? So the reason is most likely that people have stopped taking the precautions that they were taking, and this virus has two main things that we should be aware of. One is that it spreads very efficiently, and the good thing is that we know how it is spread, so we can stop that. And second thing is, like other coronaviruses, it has tendency to mutate. And we have seen out of 6,000 variants, 6,000 isolates in India, we have documented 7,500 mutations. Luckily, most of them are of not much consequence. They are just academic records.
But
But
transmissible, they are
we
transmissible.
can't. No, mutants and transmission is not correlated. Those are just recorded that in those isolated, those mutants were obtained. The virus is very transmissible otherwise itself, normal mutants also. That's why that is what the whole idea or the problem of the pandemic. So if we do, the moment we become little bit relaxed, how we got saved from the major crisis. Of course, we went to a lot of pain. Was by the very efficient lockdown, because that delayed the whole thing, and we could prepare capacity, and people got some message that we should interact less and so on. And we practiced that for some time. But now, when things are improving, we are going to spoil the whole game for us if we relax at this moment.
That
We
we
are
can
really
see,
in a winning
sir.
position.
Because again, we are getting
Say,
near about 22,000 cases in a single day. That means we all are doing the same thing.
exactly. So we are not behaving as we should, and that is the best tool that we have. Even there is a vaccine, there are vaccines now, more than one, maybe there will be many more. But vaccines, as you just heard from experts, they have limited benefits. 100% people are not going to get 100% protection. So which means if we keep playing with the virus, allowing the virus to hang around in larger number for longer time, we will certainly discover one day variant which will trouble us heavily, and whole thing can go into a big problem. So the cause for, at the moment, the cause for the spread, increase in number of cases, is most likely not new variant. Although I have to say that we have to keep monitoring every day large number of isolates by samples by genome sequencing, at least 5%, in particularly where there is large number of cases, and then very easily we can then tell whether new variant is happening or not. But since we haven't seen something so far, and there is a direct correlation to the people being careless, it's very likely that we are encouraging the virus and we are inviting trouble for ourselves. So we have to go back to the social vaccine and trust on that, and then only the full advantage of the real vaccine will be there. Otherwise, it will all will go in vain, and we will be back to the drawing board.
So true, sir. That's true. Dr. Anjan Trikha, sir, what you would like to say? Because as Dr. Rakesh has also said that, the vaccine which is going to work, that is your social vaccine.
Yes, I think everything has been rightly said by Dr. Gupta, Neeraj, and Dr. Mishra. I would just like to add to that. Yes, injectable vaccine is a totally different ball game, and it is important. A social vaccine is equally important. I also feel like Neeraj feels that the government has done a considerably good job in starting vaccination at a slow pace. If you realize that we people, like I told you last time in your program, we tend to discuss a lot. Everybody in the country is discussing which vaccine to take, which not to take, even if they could be security people or vegetable vendors. They also talk about which one you got or which one you didn't get.
Yes, that we
Let
can
us
see,
have
sir.
let us have faith in our government. Let us have faith in our government, and they are doing a good job. Let's not accept let's accept that we are one more than a billion strong people with different languages. There were a group of people who never took vaccine in a state because somebody had told them that they can't have alcohol after taking vaccination for 15 days. So the vaccination drive goes for a toss because they can't live without alcohol every day. So these kind of issues will be solved. They are being solved, and I think we did an excellent thing in the first part. See, we are one of those countries where lockdown was criticized, everything was criticized, but we did a good thing. I know economy went for a toss. It has gone for a toss everywhere in the world, right?
That's true.
Even if you go to USA, it's the same thing. My son, who's 35, is not vaccinated in Seattle because it is not his turn. It's only above 60 years, or if you have a problem, the same thing we are following. And mind you, we are on the right track. Yes, we have hiccups in India. We have hiccups of everything. There's going to be a Bengal election, then Kerala election, then Tamil Nadu election. This will go on and go on and on, and there'll be so many people.
That
Have
means
you ever
the
seen
show must
anybody
go
wearing
on.
a mask? Yes, and this also has to go on. Have you seen anybody wearing a mask in that farmers rally? They all used to sleep in a single tent, in the same quilt, in the same mattress, day in and day out. Well, those are the things we have to accept, and we are proud of it because we are all Indians. We are part of it. So we are working above it, and let's practice what Neeraj just said:
Yeah.
social vaccination,
That is important.
injectable vaccination.
Dr.
Right.
Neeraj, sir, there are people who are thinking that they should, get Covishield also, Covaxin also. What do you would like to say about it?
See, theoretically, there may be differences between these two vaccines, but in the time of pandemic, we cannot be choosing among two. Whatever you are able to get hold of, if you are eligible, go ahead and take whatever vaccine is available. Don't try to differentiate between these two vaccines and try to find out which vaccine you should take, unless there are clear-cut contraindication as far as one of the vaccine is concerned, like say immunocompromised patient Covaxin has said, okay, they should try to avoid this vaccine. So apart from that, whatever vaccine you are getting, if you are eligible for that, go ahead with that, and don't wait which is better, which is not better. This is pandemic time. And if we wait for the perfect solution, then it might be too late. So I think everybody was worried, when will vaccine come? When will vaccine come? And when it has come, Of course, vaccine is not going to end the pandemic. It's the vaccination that is going to end the pandemic. So whenever your turn comes, irrespective of whatever vaccine you are getting, come forward, take it, and help in ending this pandemic. It has lingered too much now.
That's true, sir. Dr. Dhiren, sir, what message you would like to give?
I think what Dr. Neera said is true. We should not have hesitancy in getting vaccination. Whatever type of vaccine is available to you, get it done as soon as possible. Don't go by the rumors. And I would like to advise the media also that, there will be reaction in adult vaccination. I'm pediatrician. Pediatrics patient doesn't react to vaccination much as compared to adult. Reactogenicity has to be there. But if you compare the disease severity, there are hardly any reactions with the vaccine. So get yourself vaccinated, and social distancing plus wearing mask. That is the most important thing that we cannot forget even after getting vaccination.
So the message is, do not let your guards down. It is still important to follow the guidelines which has been given by the government. Thank you so much, Dr. Anjan, Dr. Neeraj, Dr. Rakesh Mishra, and Dr. Dhiren Gupta. Thank you so much, sir, for joining Medically Speaking.
Thank you, Shalini.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you.